Okay, so today we're talking what 80s song will always be a classic, and let's get into my picks. Gotta start it off with Janet Jackson, What Have You Done For Me Lately, off the Control album. Great vocals, great production, great lyrics. I couldn't ask for much more. Also, The Pleasure Principle. This might actually be my favorite song on the album. Like, one of my friends said in the music video, she had a warehouse and a dream. And exactly, like the choreography and what she was able to do with that. A lot of people could not pull that off. So impressive with that. I like the production. I like the lyrics. Yeah, love this one, and one that I frequently go back to from Janet. From the Rhythm Nation album, because I had to mention a few, Miss You Much is absolutely a classic. Again, the choreography, that cher scene at the end. Yeah, this one is immaculate. Then I also wanted to mention Come Back to Me. This is probably my favorite Janet Jackson song, if I'm honest with you. And the production on here is fantastic. I love all the vocal layering and stuff at the beginning. I feel like she's underrated as a singer. People don't give her enough, in my opinion. And the lyrics and everything, yeah, this is just amazing. I mean, this whole album is a classic, if you let me tell it. No skips, but those are the two I wanted to shout out. I just realized I did like a draft of this in TikTok, and then I started over. I completely forgot to add in Jimmy Lee by Aretha Franklin, which is so quintessentially 80s. Amazing vocals. I love the way it progresses. I love the production, and yeah, can't believe I forgot to add this whenever I re-recorded it, but I'm adding it in for you too, because this song is just amazing, especially that little ending bit with the vocals. Yeah, this is one of my favorite Aretha Franklin songs of all time. I constantly listen to it, and what a classic. Also forgot to add in Jump to It, produced by Luthervandross, I believe. He did this whole album pretty much, and also Just My Daydream from this album is a beautiful piece that I did believe deserves a little bit more appreciation. I forgot to add two of my favorite Queen songs on TikTok as well. So first up, I Want to Break Free off of the Works album. A shout out to John Deacon for writing this. I also love the music video as well. I love the solo. I love the vocals by Freddie Mercury. Yeah, this is just a masterpiece. I also wanted to add Play the Game. Yeah, this song is amazing. I love the guitar solo. I love the vocals, and another one of my favorite Queen songs of all time, so I had to mention it. Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson, Say Say Say. Absolutely, absolutely. They did what had to be done. I like how their voices complement each other. I like their own parts. I like whenever they're singing together, the lyrics, the production. Yes. Also for Michael Jackson, Want to Be Starting Something. I mentioned this in some of my previous videos. I just think it's a great song and one that I've been listening to more recently. And again, this whole album is a classic. Also have to mention Bad by Michael Jackson, because how can it not? You know, one of his most popular songs, and rightfully so. I really like the build up to the chorus. One of the best builds up to a chorus of all time. The pen was penning, and I love the vocal layering on the chorus. Like, if you ever listen to it a cappella, it's absolutely insane. And one thing about me, I always appreciate some good vocal layering. So you gotta throw that into the conversation right there. And so, I mean, yeah, this song is just a certified banger. He did what had to be done, plain and simple. Let's Groove by Earth, Wind and Fire, because how can I not include a song by them? Yeah, just an amazing group overall. They got so many bops to their name, and this is no exception. Fast Car by Tracychapman, a classic, a classic. I like the performance of it at the Grammys a lot, and everything on the song is top tier. Never Too Much by Luther Vandross. This song just feels like a nice hug. It really does. I really love Luther's vocal tones, one of my favorite male vocalists of all time, for sure. Great songwriting that he did on here, and production as well. People don't give him enough credit for his songwriting either. I didn't know that he actually wrote until I got into him, so it deserves a little bit more praise there. But again, quintessentially 80s in the best way. I really like the live instruments they send out to me. Everything on here just gels together super well, so definitely classic. Got a couple by Whitney Houston. First off, How Will I Know? Yeah, this was everything and still is. I love the music video for this. The vocals, yeah, it was a serve. Also, Saving All My Love for You, as people say, a side chick anthem. And, you know, great song overall. The vocals, the production, all that stuff. And why people say, why do they play this at weddings? Like, if you actually, like, read the lyrics and listen to the song, it's about being the other woman. So, I don't get that. But, you know, this song is immaculate. I Want to Dance with Somebody, Whitney Houston. Yep. Had to be here, had to be here. We know it, we love it, and it will live on as it should. I realized I forgot to include Madonna on this list, and I would be crucified for talking about 80s and not mentioning her, so I decided to go with Like a Prayer. Like I said, her voice really isn't my favorite, but, you know, this was a bop. You know, she had a lot of bops throughout the 80s. You know, it was a very successful decade for her, you know, and she's done a lot with her career, so figured I would mention this Madonna song. It's probably my favorite. Physical, Olivia Newton-John. This was a bop, and it had to be here. Uptown Girl by billyjoel. This is a good one. I also really like The Longest Time off of this album as well, so I figured I would include it. Super Trooper by ABBA. I like ABBA a lot. They have a lot of great songs, and I just really like harmonies on here, vocals, the production, the lyric. Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with It? Again, whole album is a classic. And yeah, this is just the most popular one, but you know, Private Dancer, the song, you know, is a great one as well. And yeah, the album just had hit after hit after hit, and what she was able to do with this song, incredible, incredible. Celebration, Kool and the Gang, a classic. I had to have it here. If I Could Turn Back Time by Cher. She did her big one on this. She really did. Had to throw some anitabaker on here. She's not on Spotify besides like her popular singles. So this is from Apple Music, Sweet Love. Amazing, amazing song. And definitely one of my favorites from the 80s for sure. And she's one of my favorite female vocalists of all time for sure. She's definitely somewhere in my top 10. No One in the World, again, just amazing to listen to. Then last up off this album, You Bring Me Joy. I really like it all the way throughout, and then that saxophone solo, and then whenever she comes back in with the vocals, it'll give you chills every single time. Again, another certified classic album that I think you must listen to. One of my favorite sophomore albums of all time for sure. Giving You the Best I Got off the album with the same name. I just love it. Had to mention it. Last up, I have Dianaross, I'm Coming Out. You know it, you heard it, you love it. It's quite simple. Alright, so that's going to be my list of 80s songs that will always be a classic. And, you know, I was looking up, you know, playlists and stuff like that, and there were some songs I was going to add, but it was from 79. So I wanted to do it just from 80s and onward to kind of keep it fair. But let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of my list. Were there any songs you feel like deserve to be here and that I left out? Sometimes I forget stuff, and I'm like, ooh, that was egregious. But for the most part, I'm happy with most of these lists. But yeah, let's continue that conversation down below in the comments.